All right, everybody. It is the Ebony Star Network broadcast. I know we haven't been here in a long time, but we are back. Well, sort of. You know, my partner, she's a little under the weather tonight, but that's okay. We'll have Ladies Night back next week for those who are diehard fans of that particular show. But tonight in this place is the very, well, I would say none other than the Furious Gangster Talk. I am the Black Knight. We're going to talk a little bit about loyalty. We're going to talk a little bit about swirling. Well, probably a lot about swirling. How I disapprove of the black man taking his finances elsewhere. All right? Okay, man, it's been a while, y'all, but we're back. Sit back. Okay, Dame, drop it. What's going on, everybody? Good to be back. It's been a while. You know, me and the Damester, man, we've been sitting in the background watching things, unfold here on social media. A lot of interesting things done happen. I see the Negroes have gotten themselves into a pretty pickle. Seems like things are a little bit worse than what they were before me and Dame decided to go on hiatus for a little while. Yeah, we've been here. We've just been watching, sitting back, talking about the stuff that was going on. We saw some fights. We saw a couple of giants take a fall. Apparently, they're running out of material. Apparently, people are getting immune to shit talking and, arguments back and forth. And some people are actually trying to do some content now. And, just a lot of crazy stuff going back and forth. Me and Dame, we sitting back talking about look at these crazy niggas. Look at these crazy Negroes. Now, I got a couple of questions. What's up with you so-called scholars, these self-appointed scholars? Okay, you think you're fighting a war against white men? On social media? What is that supposed to do? Is that supposed to change something? I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, I'm starting to hear you guys talking about, man, I'm going to war. We going to war. You got boots on the ground on social media. Think about that for a second. Boots on the ground in social media. So basically what you're saying is you got your cyber army. Y'all well equipped in a land of make-believe or in a land where you can pretty much create whatever you want. You got your boots on the ground here in social media and your cyber army, and y'all getting ready to go to war with the white man. I mean, some of you are actually real serious about that shit. I was listening to the conscious community the other day, right? And I heard something real interesting. They've been fighting and going back and forth and making money off of black people over the same bullshit that they say every single time Sinetta powers up one of those fake ass streams. See, the black man on social media is pretending. He's pretending, and for some other reasons, he chooses to behave like a teenager, no matter what his age is. He on social media. Now we got a few intellectuals who stand out and seem to be boasting about their intelligence. I heard one guy say, intellectually, nobody can handle him. Interesting. What about, has your intellectualism handled any of these black problems out here in real life? See, I'm less concerned with somebody telling me on social media that no one can handle them intellectually. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean on social media. Especially if that particular intellectualism is doing nothing in the grand scheme of things as to helping our people move forward and solving some of the problems that our children are having. Okay. Now, somebody might say, well, he could be a psychiatrist. Okay. I'm not sure if there's really a need for a psychologist. All right. What if the situation is this? What if people are crazy because somebody said you were? Too far fetched? Do you think life is that simple to where somebody can come along and say, hey man, you out of your damn mind? And you start behaving like you out of your damn mind. I mean, is that really such a stretch? Probably not. So, you'll have some intellectuals get away. I'm a psychologist. Okay. Well, you claim that you are helping black people. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, let me address something with you, passport dudes, you passport goons. And let me I gotta tell you guys this, man. I'm not even sure how. First of all, how is the traveling nowadays because of the COVID? And right now, there's a new COVID outbreak. So you guys claim that you're going to all of these countries starting business. I heard one guy say, well, I'm starting businesses. Why are you starting businesses in the foreign world? What about starting businesses over here? Well, the white man won't let me. Apparently, the white man won't let you, and the black woman won't let you. You may as well get a shirt that says, the white man won't let me and the black woman won't let me. I'm seriously thinking about getting t-shirts made up that says, the black woman won't let me, with a big question mark at the end. Because that seems to be you guys' excuse for everything. How do you have an excuse for failure? How do you have an excuse for failure? But you guys keep coming up with it, right? All you do is just point fingers. You're saying, hey, the black woman made me do it. Now I'm starting to hear all these wild tales, about Lilith and who's the real devil and the devil's wife and all this. You know, a lot of spooky things are online. You know, a lot of spooky things are online. A lot of things online will, well, let me see. It would have you really scratching your head, right? But one of the biggest things I got a problem with is that no matter what happens at the end of the day, you still blaming the black woman for your failures. And you guys don't want to own up to anything. Again, you said you're fighting a war on social media. Who the fuck fights wars on social media? So you saying that you done created this war in your mind to where you're useful and you can look like you're doing something to help your people, or you can look like you're attacking white supremacy because you have a extended vocabulary. Mm-hmm. So your vocabulary is your weapon. You can't fight the man in real life to where we all can see it and benefit from it No, you fighting the white man here on social media to where it benefits no one. Well, probably you because I guess you get views, and people love to see car wrecks, accidents. You know, you got crazy people on here. I'm talking about legitimate crazy people like RBR. It's a lunatic. But yeah, he has a nice following because the people who are following him are just as crazy. So yeah, we have a lot of people I notice here on social media that are negative. It's not even a positive or negative thing. It's just that the negative has the negative has the most numbers. I sit up there and watch a person create one live stream after another about drama. The same people showed up every night to argue. And pretty much it was the same argument. They just dressed it up a notch. Some people think that if they cuss you out online, you know, they get some kind of accolades here on social media. I mean, what can you do on social media? I have a site. My channel is for black women. Okay? My site is for black women. I protect black women over here. It's a haven where black women can come and don't have to be attacked. I'm not going to go over the origin of why we made a site like that before, but trust me, it's needed. Now, who is this? You need to stop. Oh, a troll, Dolomite. You stop what? Explain. You know, I don't get upset at the trolls anymore because black people here on social media, that seems to be normal. It seems like most black people here on social media, they're okay with being trolls. Like Dolomite, he's a troll. You know what I'm saying? He hates the fact that I love black women. How could you be mad at a man that loves women? I don't understand that. Dolomite is mad that I love women and I don't love men. So he's upset. And a lot of them are upset like that. You know, Max hate men. He loved black women. What am I supposed to be? Okay? What am I supposed to do? I'm not a homosexual, so I don't like men. I like women. I'm a straight heterosexual black male. That means I like women. What I don't understand is why guys like the Manosphere, Sissy Bims, Dolomite have a problem with me loving black women. I'm not supposed to love another man. I'm a grown ass man. What am I doing? Showing another man love. But you see, that's what's wrong with a lot of you Negroes now. Your code, the code in your mind's fucked up. You guys live by a fucked up code. That's why you don't have anything impressive to show anybody, nor have you accomplished anything. And you're not going to do anything. Let's just face it. You guys are cowards to the bone. You're not going to stand up against anybody. That's why you're waging war on social media against the white man. Because on social media, he can't put his hands on you. You won't dare do that in real life. But social media gives you a safe haven to run your mouth, right? I mean, the things that I've heard while I was sitting back, I couldn't believe it. Well, people saying they got boots on the ground here on social media. What does that mean? You got boots on the ground here in social media. I'm not going to let that rock because I need to know what that means. I've never heard anybody say that before. I heard people say they got boots on the ground in real life. And we have to question that, right? Because that's coming from guys on social media who are stuck in a fantasy land. Okay? Now, I've heard that. I've never heard somebody say they got boots on the ground here on social media, on these YouTube streets. So you got boots on the ground on these mean YouTube streets. That's some funny shit. No, it really is. It's some funny shit. Boots on the ground on the mean streets of YouTube. So basically, you doing your job. So basically, you here on social media, you got your little cyber army. Y'all going to fight the white man on his ground using the tool that he created. I guess that makes sense to a lot of you, huh? Well, then again, you guys are feeling kind of inadequate, right? You guys are feeling kind of outclassed because you can't seem to do anything else. I mean, think about this here. When I was growing up, right, it was considered cowardice to fight a female. Let me say that one more time. Let me do my Umar Johnson. If I was growing up, when I was growing up, it was considered cowardice to fight a female. When I was growing up, it was considered cowardice to fight a female. When I was growing up, it was considered cowardice to fight a female. Speaking of Umar Johnson, that Negro done lost his mind too. Now, I do agree with some of the stuff Dr. Umar says. Okay, I think he's a bad brother. But you know what? I think he caught up in his own mind. Okay, caught up in his own mind. But and he's a brilliant. I think he's a brilliant brother. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna never insult that brother like that. You know. But I just think sometimes great people, get caught up in themselves. Okay. And every great person always had an issue. Great people have issues. They have a quirkiness to them. Hold on, Dame, give me for 1 second.
Yeah.
What word am I trying to find? Quirky or quirky?
Quirky.
Put in a definition for that, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, and that's the Dame, so y'all. She's under the weather tonight. Okay, she rolling with the Black Knight. All right. I got her by my side. I got my arm around her. She's eating soup and drinking hot tea. She's under the weather. She's got a really bad cold. So we decided to give her the night off, and Ladies' Night will be back next week. Okay? And so we're going to do a Gangsta Talk. That's why we're doing a Gangsta Talk. But let's get back to this thing. Let me know when you got that definition.
Got it.
Okay. Let it rip.
Okay, quirky. Characterized by peculiar or unexpected traits.
That's what I was looking for. The word peculiar. Look that word up too, Name. That's the word I'm looking for, peculiar. Great people are peculiar. Okay? They have some weird, quirky thing going on. That's pretty much what makes them great. That's why they're not like everyone else. They're different. Quirky people, I'm sorry, great people see the world completely different. than everybody else. But sometimes that quirkiness could be a handicap. Then you got peculiar.
Yes, I got
Okay,
peculiar.
drop it.
First definition: strange or odd, unusual.
Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, all right, go back on mute. Thank you, Dane.
You're welcome.
Strange and odd behavior. A lot of you here on social media are peculiar. You got this strange, odd behavior. So since we all are on social media, I don't know where you get hate from. I don't hate black men, bro. I don't hate my brothers. I don't hate myself. I don't hate the black men. But okay, let me go back to okay. I hate doing this, but you got to for some reason you got to keep doing this, and you have to do it because if you don't, people are going to run away with it. No matter how many times you say you're not talking about all this and all that, nobody gives a damn about that. You got to keep clarifying yourself. I'm not talking about all black men. I'm only talking about a certain group of black men that I call today's black men. That includes the manosphere, sissy bims, all of the red pills, green pills, all of the damn pills, and the conscious community. That's who I'm talking about. Because they're the ones up here doing the most. Bullshitting. Leaving a trail of bullshit from here to the Aegean. Anyway, so me and the Dames were sitting back, hibernating. Took a little short break from social media because things were getting to us, man. The killings of black women, that Shanquilla thing. You know, even though we were still officially taking some time off, we came alive to do a show about that. And I remember feeling heartbroken about what happened to that black woman. I also remember something else too. I remember guys coming in and being very cold about it, offering no condolences to the black woman, offering no comfort or any heartfelt things to say about how that young lady lost her life. And she was ambitious for businesses and they were successful. She had a few successful businesses. The girl was well on her way to becoming a millionaire. And they did that to that. When they destroyed that little girl. They broke her neck and her spine. Okay? That's insidious hatred. Dame,
Yes, yes.
look up the word insidious, please.
Okay.
So people will understand that we are educated here at the Every Star Network. Even though we don't choose to be so inclined with our vocabulary, we really don't give a damn about stuff like that. We talk the way we talk. But anyway, they destroyed that little girl. Again, they broke her neck and they broke her spine. If she would have lived, she would have been a vegetable. She would have suffered for the rest of her life. The only thing that would have been working on her is her head. The rest of her body wouldn't have been working at all. That's a miserable existence. Yeah, Dane. Found it.
Yes.
Insidious. Drop it, Dane.
Proceeding in a gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects.
Mm-hmm. Is that
Treacherous,
uh-huh.
crafty.
Treacherous and crappy?
Mm.
Any more definition?
An old definition that means cunning or
Cunning.
an ambush or trick,
Mm-hmm.
lies in wait for.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the older definitions of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. See that, y'all? That was insidious hatred. They
Hmm.
planned to murder that girl, and those demons carried that out with insidious hatred. Again, they destroyed that little girl. That girl's body was broken beyond repair. Broken beyond repair. Her spinal cord and neck received devastating force. Devastating. Dame, Dame,
Yes,
would you be so kind? Devastate, please.
devastate. Okay.
Mm-hmm. See, I like doing this because I want you guys to picture in your mind what happened to this girl. Her spine and her neck was devastated by a force that was more than enough and overly vicious and aggressive. Okay.
Okay, devastate, destroy or ruin something.
Yeah. Thanks, Dane.
Hmm.
Destroy or ruin something. They did both to that little girl. They destroyed her body, they ruined her life, and then they took it. Like I said, if the girl would have survived, she would have lived a life of pain. She would have lived a life of suffering. She wouldn't have been able to even eat on her own. She would have been bedridden for the rest of her life. She would have never walked again. She would have never moved her arms again or her legs. She would have been a vegetable. How are we walking around with that kind of hatred in our hearts for each other? To do that to one of our own. Another thing I don't understand either. I'm not sure what kind of black people exist today, but I've never seen someone hold that kind of hatred, right? And then act as though nothing is going on, and then turn that hatred on like a light switch and go completely berserk for a few minutes. I've never seen that before. What kind of ability is that? Because when you look at the video, they seem to be chilling for a minute. Nobody seemed like they was ready to do anything. And then all of a sudden, dude was taping, and then the one girl came out of nowhere and went totally berserk. Fuck is that? Man, we really don't like ourselves. The damage that we're willing to do to each other, but not to anyone else, mind you. We don't dare put our hands on someone else. We don't dare put our hands on non-blacks. You know why? Because they're going to probably gun you down. So you don't put your hands on non-black people. Look at what we're doing to each other. Look at the devastation that we do to each other. That girl, again, her spine was devastated. You're talking about overkill. The damage they did to that girl's body. And for what? They claim that she did something foul. Like what? But nobody won't say anything. See, they are afraid to tell us why they did what they did because there's really no reason for them to have done something like that to that girl. That's why they won't tell us the motive. You see, because what she probably did, if she did anything, right, doesn't match the so-called punishment that she received. It doesn't match. When you look at the injuries she sustained, right? How can you explain that away? How could you explain her body receiving all that trauma? Well, she took your boyfriend? Because apparently one of the girls said she did some foul shit. Like what? What kind of foul shit that will make you do something like that to her? You beat her like a slave. See, back in the slavery days, right? The taskmasters, the white man, they used to beat the living shit out of slaves. Most of the time, they beat them within an inch of their life. Some was even worse. They would be beaten to death in such a unkindly way. Like the person that was administering the beating was proud of the devastation that he was causing that slave. That's the way they beat the girl. They beat that girl like a slave. And you know what? And to hear brothers sit up here and try to add to it, there's brothers who came in the room and tried to add to it. Talking about it was, well, it was black women doing it. It was black women doing it. I mean, hey, Nika. Hold on one second. Let me. Uh, hey, Dan, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Make Nika, right, a moderator.
She's already a moderator.
Okay, she already mod. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, and so you have black men coming in here instead of offering condolences. You know, they came in here and started pouring in with snide remarks and very uncool comments. Now, what I don't understand is what kind of black man are you when you could sit up there and feel after this young woman, received that kind of devastation, which was extreme overkill. She was really dead already with the broken neck. Okay. And so she was the victim of that kind of extreme overkill. And I said, black man, how could you come in and pile on top of that? I mean, you hate black women that bad that when you see them destroyed like that, it's some kind of entertainment. I mean, some of you cats, the things I heard from some of y'all, you ought to be ran out of the black race for some of the things that I've heard some of you say about that girl. You should be excommunicated from the black race. You should be ran out of the black race. You should be barred from going into any black community. Okay? Your hatred needs to be plucked from our society of black people because you're nothing but bad seeds. You're poison seeds. When are you Negroes going to start being real black men? Stop getting caught up in this juvenile bullshit that you going through on social media. Talking about black women control this, black women control dating. Man, fuck all of that. You ain't gonna solve nothing anyway. Because you don't have the respect of the black woman. So she ain't gonna listen to you no how. In order for her to listen to you, you have to first earn her respect. Then you gotta earn her trust. Then you gotta earn her love. Because y'all pretty much done fucked all that up. When I was doing a moment of silence for that young girl, Shanquella, there was Negroes in my chat typing some crazy shit. Talking about she brought on herself. Who brings on getting their neck broken and their spine pretty much destroyed? Who brings that on now? Fuck that. You know what? Y'all say a lot of the stuff that white men say. I'm starting to believe that today's black men, you guys want to be white women. Speaking of that, let's shift gears, okay? Real quick. Back in the day, right? You figure from the 20s to the mid 1960s, right? A hairstyle invaded the black community called the conk, C-O-N-K, right? Now the word definitely has a different meaning to it, right? Hold on one second. Shit. Now the word has a different meaning to it when you look it up. It doesn't mean hairstyle. But that was a hairstyle that was popularized by black men. And it was so bad, right, that they would go into a barbershop and there would be a big old poster of haircuts that white men would wear. And they would just pick it out. So a young black man who doesn't have knowledge of self should be getting knowledge of self. I received knowledge of self in my black household. So you got a young black man running around in the community with no knowledge of self, goes into a barbershop and say, hey, let me get the Tony Curtis. Let me get the James Dean. Let me get the Dean Martin. I would say Sammy Davis Jr., but you would have to be cockeyed for that. Anyway, so, right? Now, here's my thing. Back then in those days, you had brothers on the corner preaching about Africa. You had brothers on the corner with their big old books and they bean pies telling you about Africa and how black you're supposed to be. But niggers are still walking around conking. See, it goes to show you that the black man at his core, since he got out of slavery, pretty much has been a very juvenile mentality. Overgrown child. Wants to run around here with no responsibilities and wants to have on a grown diaper and wants to be changed by the black woman. See, these niggas right here today, they don't want to work. That's why they keep pushing independence of black women. They want an independent black woman so they can live off of her. Isn't it time you guys put the backpacks down? Isn't it time you stop playing PlayStation? Isn't it time that you start dressing your age? Like a 40-year-old dressing like a teenager? Shouldn't you stop doing stuff like that? Shouldn't you take control of your black community? Now, I'm well aware that some of y'all hate the black community, right? Which I can't understand why, because it's not like you defend the black community or do anything to the black. I can see if you was doing something in the black community and you got shunned for it or you got laughed out of the area or somebody threatened you. Now you got something to talk about. But you guys haven't done a damn thing in the black community except add to the misery in it. Got the nerve to create a group called Passport Bros. Are you serious? Yeah, I really think it's gonna be smooth like that, right? You're gonna jump on a plane and you're gonna go somewhere and the women are gonna be like, oh my God. No, it don't work that way. And I'll tell you something else too. Now that you guys are becoming more and more famous and people start to know who you are, you're gonna be in even more trouble. As a man who has traveled outside this country, understand something too, right? Wherever you go, you don't have the protection of America. They have no jurisdiction in those other countries. Understand that. You will not be under American government or protection, which is a whole different ball of wax. All of the stories I hear, fake ass millionaires lying, talking about you're going to different countries, Switzerland and all this other shit. If you was really rich, what the fuck you doing on YouTube? Arguing with black women. If you're so rich, what are you doing on YouTube arguing with black women? They're going back and forth with niggas about black women. If I was a millionaire, hell, I wouldn't be on here. The fuck I need to be on YouTube for arguing with some niggas about black women? I'm a millionaire. I can do what the hell I want to do. See, it kind of makes it hard to believe, right? Let's get back to you Negroes. Guys like Dolomite. See, I don't understand how you guys feel. I've never been like you. I've never been a coward my entire life. I don't hate black women. So I've never been how you are. So I'm curious as to how you can be a coward in broad daylight, how you could be a bully to a woman and then do nothing but talk about her demise. I don't understand. How do you get away with stuff like that? How come nobody checks you? How come the guys that you? Let me tell you something. If I was to start going crazy like that, I would get checked. My people would check me like a motherfucker. I have five brothers. No, actually four. I'm the fifth one. Sorry about that. But I got four bigger brothers that will step to me real quick. Okay. I got friends that will step to me real quick. All right. You guys don't check each other. You guys get online and you try to find somebody to agree with you because you have a miserable existence yourself. I keep trying to tell you guys, come to my gen culture. I'm not having one next week because Dame is sick. I'm sorry. I'm not having one tomorrow because Dame is sick right now. She feels better towards the week. I'll have one in the middle of the week, or I'll have one next Sunday because Gen Culture usually come on Sunday. But you guys need to come to my Gen Culture. You'll learn how to be men. You'll learn what really makes you attractive to women. All this fake ass high value shit. What the fuck are you talking about? You niggas ain't even got any jobs, many of you. Yeah, you going around talking about some a high value man. Nigga, you drive a bread truck. Nigga, you drive a forklift. A high low. You unload trucks. Some of you drive an Uber car, which ain't really a bad thing. I wouldn't do the taxi thing though. Okay, I'd rather do the food thing. You know. So, what do you mean high value? And y'all keep talking about women hitting the wall. What wall is that? I'm not aware of women hitting the wall. Where's this wall at? And what does this wall do? I've never heard of a woman hitting the wall. Now I've heard of her getting older and older and maybe losing a little bit of her game or whatever. But that happens to everybody. As far as men being attracted to her, there's no such thing as a wall. If a woman is attracted, even into her whole age, she's going to attract men. Some even attract young men. So I need one of you punks to explain this wall thing to me because I'm not like understanding it. Hold on, let me see something. Hey Dan, come here for a second. Let me see if my little sister here can put some light on this.
Hello?
Dan, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
What is this wall they talking about? What do they mean about this wall?
What wall?
Black women hitting the wall.
Oh, that nonsense again.
Yeah, what is that supposed to be? What is this wall?
Okay. It's connected to our fertility and our youth. Supposed to be there's a certain age that is best that we have children. Especially first time having children. Once you reach past that age, it's harder and it's worse. So
Yeah, but that ain't no. Yeah, but that ain't no wall. It's a natural thing that happens.
but to them
That
that's
happens
a
to
wall.
that
And
happens
what
to all women.
yeah, well they say when she hits that wall, she should lower expectations. She shouldn't expect the certain things from men from when she was younger.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Go on mute. First of all, she ain't got to expect shit. I don't give a damn if she's 60 years old. She has the right to expect whatever she. Wait a minute. Who the fuck are you guys to tell somebody what they shouldn't and shouldn't what they should and shouldn't expect? I mean, you guys are cowards, so you shouldn't expect respect. How you like that? How you like if somebody comes to you and say, "Okay, you're a sissy bim, and you shouldn't expect respect." So a woman hits the wall at 36. That's not. I don't know where the fuck you guys get that from. That's insane. Women don't hit no damn wall. What? Okay, what does this wall supposed to do to them? What does this wall supposed to stop them from doing? I'm very curious. Break it down, Black Republican. What the fuck this wall does to these women? I want to know everything about this wall. Okay? Because you're not going to tell me that black women having children that no man don't want them. You got them fucked up. Okay? I want to know about this damn wall. What is this wall supposed to do? Does it stop them from going out to getting fast food? What does this wall do? And so you sit up here, you say, okay, well, how old is this woman? She tell you she's 36. Oh, you hit the wall. No wonder you guys don't have any women. No wonder you up here talking about you want to go on a passport thing. Okay. That's why y'all got so many pedophiles in your group. All women go through that. All women go through a part where they can't have kids. And that's not true for every woman. You got some women that's having kids well into their 50s, 40s, and 50s, still having children. Okay? So that's not even accurate. That's like pulling a needle out of a haystack. Because all women are not like that. We could pull up receipts now of women having babies well into their 50s, some even their early 60s. What happened to the wall? Did it get up and move for those women? I don't understand this damn wall. Is that something you guys made up so you can have something to talk about because you really don't have no real conversation for women? You see, I'm gonna tell you something else, right? You guys impress me. And let me tell you how you impress me. I'm impressed with your ineptness. I've never seen the person be that inept. That's impressive. I'm impressed by you guys having no want to the degree that you have it. That's impressive. I've never seen a man that didn't have any want to so badly before. And there was no, ain't no exception. See, you guys got to stop talking like you know what a woman's life is and what her life expectancy is and what she's supposed to have and not supposed to have. Y'all got to stop doing that. Okay. But a lot of them don't have problems, Black Republican. And I never heard any doctors say worldwide that women shouldn't have babies after 36 or 35. I never heard that. And they're certainly not saying that now. They're definitely not saying that now. Black women are having babies well into their 40s and 50s, some even 60. And it's not a coincidence. It's not something that happens once in a while. It happens every day. Some woman right now in her 50s is giving birth to a healthy child. As a matter of fact, the older ages now seem to be growing in numbers. Women are getting pregnant late in their lives, especially career black women. You know, they're getting pregnant late in their lives. I don't know why they would tell women that they shouldn't have kids at the age of do they tell black women that? Or do they tell all women that? Because I can't see them telling all women that. You can also Google Black Republican that women are having babies successfully and healthy babies well after the age of 35. You can Google that too. So even if this so-called doctor said, well, I advise you not to have kids after 35, ain't nobody listening to that. You can Google that too. No one is listening to that. So your idea of a verbal of a wall is she can't have kids. First of all, what the fuck does that even mean? What does that got to do with the price of tea in China? If the woman at 35 is not having any more kids, shouldn't she be even more fun to be with? She's not having any more kids, so I don't get it. It would seem that in a natural scheme of things, the woman got to the point where she's not having any more kids, right? She seems to be the most wanted. You can have all the sex you want, don't have to worry about her getting pregnant. That makes her more attractive. Well, I do know that word expert really don't mean what you think it means. So you probably think that it clarifies you or identifies you as the world's foremost authority on a particular subject or thing or matter. Well, that's not actually true. And experts have been wrong. You know why? Because experts are people too who make mistakes. Okay, I can get two and three experts, and they all say this, and they all say something different about a particular subject. And so you guys, you see, that's a white man's trick, right? And you guys fall for it every time. If the person is an expert, you won't question them. See, that's what the white man wants you to do. That's the way he wants it to work on you. Because you're dumb enough to believe one person knows everything about one particular thing. So you dumb enough to believe that. So you follow the guidelines and the definitions of the word expert. White man put that there for a reason. So you won't question his authority, you won't question his knowledge, you won't question his word. You will accept whatever the so-called expert tells you, right? And that's because you don't have a well-developed brain. Many of you can't even exercise common sense. Isn't that right, Black Republican? That's why y'all have juvenile temper tantrums, right? I don't know what a 50-year-old man do. I don't think about 50-year-old men. Are you a homosexual? Black Republican, are you a homosexual? If not, then what are you worried about what a 50-year-old man does with his private parts? What business is that of yours? I don't think about what 50-year-old men want. You say a 50-year-old man wants a 30-year-old woman? I don't know. The hell you asking me for? I know some young women want older men. See, I'm into what the women are doing. I don't give a fuck about what dudes are doing. I don't think about dudes. I'm not gay. I know some young women in their 30s that are going after men who are actually older than 50. So I don't know what you're talking about. And just because you guys got female tendencies and y'all hate women and y'all feel that y'all that doesn't mean everybody else feel the way you feel, a Black Republican. You know? It is well known that older men want younger women. And that's supposed to mean what? What exactly does that supposed to mean? And if you want younger women, don't get married and pursue younger women. Make sure they're not too young though, because you don't get yourself in trouble. You know, y'all got too many pedophiles anyway. Younger women. So let me get this right. A woman hits the wall at 35 because, well, actually, she don't hit the wall because, wow, 18 or over. And how old are you? See, y'all following that pedophile. The white man is a pedophile. He's he's a pedo. So you're doing everything he's doing, going after these young girls. What is a older man doing going after an 18-year-old? What is a 33-year-old man doing going after an 18-year-old girl? That's a little girl. And you're only calling her a woman because of the law. But that's still a little girl. She's not developed yet as a woman. She's 18. A year ago she was 17. So she's not developed as a woman yet. So that's what makes you guys like, you know, pretty much borderline sex offenders. Because you don't care nothing about that. I don't care. Legally, it says that I can go and date her. I can go and do the 18 years old. You 33. What are you doing messing with some 18-year-old young girl? You guys ever heard of Steve McNair? Steve McNair used to play for the NFL team called what are they called now? They're called the Titans now. Okay, used to play for the Titans under Jeff Fisher, the Tennessee Titans. He had a young girl, 18 or 19, Kazil, Kimmy, or something like that. One night, she decided to commit homicide and suicide. She shot him in the head twice, right in the temple twice, and two times in the body, then turned the gun on herself and killed herself. So when you're dealing with an 18-year-old girl who's not really fully developed yet, there are serious risks you take because she's still trying to find herself as a woman. And pretty much, you come in and you interrupt that because now you want her to do what you want her to do. You want her to be the sex slave, so she don't finish developing as a woman. Because you're not going to tell me that you guys want younger women so you can do something wholesome with them, or you can teach them, or you can help the young lady to become a better person. That's not why you want them, right? I couldn't imagine you wanting a girl for anything other than being a sex slave. So now I am better than the people who make the law. Probably, probably, because some of the people that make the law are some really bad people. Yes, I'm probably a better person than many of them. Yeah. Now, would I be good at writing laws? I don't know. I've never tried it before. But I can vouch for myself being a good person. Yeah, I think I'm better than some of them, if not most of them. Yeah. Most of the people that write the laws in this country don't have any morals anyway. You can tell that by them making laws named Jim Crow. Yeah, you see, guys like you should be arrested. Guys like you should be arrested because you're not there to help those young girls. You're there to impede their progress as women. All you care about is having sex with them. Guys like you should be locked up. Should be locked up. It should be a law. Okay? It should be a law. But yeah, Steve McNair, man, was murdered while he slept by a young girl, Kazil Kazemi. That's her name, I believe. Kazil Kazemi. Shot McNair twice in his temple. So he was dead then. And she put two more in his chest, I believe. And then she shot herself in the head. Murder suicide. Young girl. I say somewhere around 25. Black Republican, around 25. But she becomes a grown woman. Grown woman. Around 25. Yeah. 25, you're in the clear. 18, 19, oh no. Now I'm looking at you like a pedo. Anyway, that mentality that you have, that's an old mentality that should no longer be in the black community. You see, that's a dog mentality. You just want to hump. Well, you got bigger problems now with black women. You got bigger problems with black people, period. It's no longer about you just humping. That's why I don't understand why y'all think alpha male strategies is some kind of god when it comes to women. How the hell could you listen to a dude that tell you as soon as he meet a girl, 5 minutes they fucking. And he goes down the street, meet another girl and they fucking. I heard this dude say one day, man, he had sex with 9 different girls in one day. Man, are you fucking kidding me, man? That's not even realistic. It's obvious this dude's a phony. He can't get women. He done dupe you guys into thinking that he can get women. Y'all stupid enough to believe it. Y'all believe anybody pretty much here on social media. As long as they're saying something to appease how you feel about yourself, you ride with them. You see, got like Black Republican, you guys are miserable. You're not good people. You don't really know how to talk to women. And you have that dog mentality, right? You just want to hump. And so when somebody says something in favor of that, you guys go ahead and hit your wagon to them. Start supporting them and everything. And y'all the ones that think that this nigga is a so-called expert on women. They're gonna word expert again. That's designed so you don't question. That's the way the white man keeps you silent. Not only keeps you silent, but alerts the people that believe in that shit to frown on you whenever you try to question an expert. Right? Well, you're using the word you're the wrong way. Okay. It's not Y-O-U-R a joker. Okay. That's not the form. You're using the incorrect form of your. But anyway, I found out that a lot of you young guys, right, who don't really have no father figures, never really had no attention or no real direction in life. You guys are the ones who are problematic. You're the guys sitting up here fantasizing about going overseas and having sex with prostitutes. You're the guy that sit up here talking about the woman hit the wall and believe anything that these scam artists tell you. Kevin Samuels, he was a scam artist. Think he was a scam artist? The guy was a big time scam artist. Big alpha male strategy scam artist. The only one that got some kind of uh, respect, and I got a problem with him too. Okay, it's Alan Roger Curry. At least he knows something about women. But you see, he went and got married on y'all. So what does that tell you? He wouldn't settle down. Okay? And you got a 40-year-old man or close to 40 telling you, no, that ain't the way you do it, man. You gotta, you know, don't be afraid to be alone and tell these hoes and tell you, how are you 40 years old addressing a woman as a hoe or a whore? You can't properly address a woman and you think that that's impressive. You think people are impressed with you when you do not address a woman properly. You don't address a woman by calling her a hoe. That's not the way you address a woman. One second. Hey, Dane,
Yes.
look up the word Gale, Gale, Gale. So that's not the way you address a woman. You don't call her a hoe. You don't call her a whore. You don't call her a B. That doesn't show how impressive of a man you are when you just outright disrespect women like that, especially black women. That's not showing that you are an impressive man. It shows that you are an impressive bum. You got it, Dave?
Yes.
Hit it.
First definition, a very strong wind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They give a meteorology definition of a gale, a wind of 47 to 10 on the Beaufort scale, which is
Mm-hmm.
28 to 55 knots or 32 to 63 miles per hour. Miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a storm at sea.
Mm-hmm.
And the second definition for gale is a burst of sound, especially of laughter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
So getting back to again, you guys are trolls, and what you're going to find at the end of the day, you won't be more successful in getting women because these guys are well. Alan Roger Curry has success. Because these guys ain't got no success with no women. I can tell you that if a guy tell you he had sex with 9 women in one night or 8 women, something like that, I can tell you that that man don't know a damn thing about women. He don't know anything about women. You don't think his behavior is peculiar? You don't think it's weird, funny, how he tells you, oh, I met this girl, then we had sex in a phone booth. I met this girl, and we had sex on the operating table. I met this girl, we had sex in her car. Everything is about him having sex with these women. This dude probably had more sex than Will Chamberlain. Okay? And he's a phony. But you guys are dumb. And so y'all caught up in it because he is speaking to how you feel. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. Matter of fact, Kevin Samuels was trying to get black women to lower the bar so they would expect you. So they would have less expectations, and so you could be a bum as much as you want. Okay, you can go to a black woman with nothing. Uh, wait, what did I miss here?
It's more like what they miss.
Okay, he travels abroad a lot and have a. I'm not sure about that, Black Republican. Your grammar is pretty bad. I doubt if you can even fill out a ticket, a baggage ticket. Okay, but you have such poor grammar. That's embarrassing for you. You know, poor grammar. I'm not saying you got to be some kind of expert, but damn, you having trouble with with basic grammar. Okay, so I could doubt. I doubt if you. I don't believe you travel. Okay, with that kind of education that you have right there, I'm questioning if you can fill out a baggage claim ticket. You know, the ticket that you write your name and everything on, and for your luggage, and they take the tag and tie it on there. I doubt if you can fill one of them out. So if this is if your grammar is this poor, I can't see you having a conversation with 99% of the black women you come across. And she would probably only entertain you as far as a conversation if she wasn't interested in you. Yeah. Yeah, because I can't really see you having any real meaningful conversation with a black woman that will make any kind of grammatical sense. So you need to get your grammar together, young man or old man, whatever the hell you are. I'm not saying you got to be some rogue scholar, but at least get your basic English straight. You know, learn the differences between sin and sand. Okay, and learn what type of your to use depending on what you're saying. All right, you can't say you're a joker spelled Your. That's incorrect. But anyway, enough about Mr. Republican and his colorful education. Let's get back to the bigger picture here. What other man is doing what you're doing as a black man? What other race of man is sitting up here blasting his women? See, other races of men don't do that because they know how important the woman is. That's why they're willing to kill for her. You couldn't go to another country and start talking bad about the women over there. They'll kill you. Seriously. You will not survive. They will kill you. And you have to start protecting the black woman. Now, you need to come to my gent culture, black Republican. I'm hope to see you there, okay, because you need a lot of work. And I'll tell you guys, to train you guys on being real men and what real men are about. And once you get done with my courses, you wouldn't be here on social media because you'll be successful in real life. Women will be attracted to you in real life. Now, still, you have to sell her on who you are, but you got to be truthful about who you are. There's no, there's no magic words that's going to make a woman want you. You don't go out there and say, "Hey, I'm Mr. Big Stuff," and they heck I'm all of the women. It don't work like that. Even if you that guy, you still got to work to get the woman. You still have to prove that you are who you say you are. And the reason why a woman does that is because she has children. She want to make sure you can provide the proper things for her and her children, and that you can sustain it. Guys like you, Republican and Dolomite, y'all are unfit fathers, so don't even bother having any children. Please don't. Please don't mess up some black woman's life. You know what, man? When I launched my other show, um, I want you guys to come up and declare yourselves as dogs. Okay? And be truthful about who you are. And let the black woman know, look, I'm a dog. All I want to do is hump. I'm not a father. I'm not a husband material. I'm not father material. And tell these women from the door that if they get involved with you and get pregnant, it's on them because you don't want to be a father because you've already said that you won't be a good father. And that's how you can turn the tables, right? You say, if you want to make sex raw, you have already told her that you're a dog. If she don't want to, put condoms on you, whatever. So you guys need to come out and declare yourselves as dogs. Say, hey, I ain't shit. I'm not high value. I can't protect you. I won't protect you. I just want to have sex. Some women may take you up on the offer, but some women just want to have sex too. So you might be able to catch that if you're honest. Now you ain't gonna get no woman of quality because a woman of quality wouldn't be with a man like you that don't have anything going for himself other than humping. But you might get some of those sisters that be out there on that same vibe. They just want to have sex. Okay. You are a high value man who owns his own apartment. So you have one of those condos. You bought a condo. That's kind of trendy. That's kind of jazzy. A condo. But anyway, let me remind. Okay, let's get to the swirling thing before I get out of here. Okay, for the black man, for the real black man, swirling should never be an option. Okay, especially swirling with the people who's done the most atrocities against you and still doing them. Shooting you down the street. The white girls are calling the cops to get you arrested for just walking outside. White woman trying to get you killed. Y'all sit here on social media talking about my white woman don't do that. But it's okay for the white woman to do that to other black men, and you won't say nothing because your white woman don't do that, right? I think swirling shouldn't be an option for a black man. If you are a black man, you should be loyal to black women, 100%. You should never swirl. You should have, and anyway, what need? Hold on one second. What need? Ouch! Leg went to sleep. Um, as a black man, what need do you have to swirl? What is it that these other women don't have that a black woman? I'm sorry. What is it that these other women have and a black woman don't have? Dame, drop the link. Okay.
Okay.
I know black men swirl way more than black women. You guys are around what, 25 to 27% now? What I'm trying to figure out is what these white women have that black women don't have. I don't see anything of interest. I don't see anything different. If you're saying that she don't have an attitude, that's a damn lie. They do have attitudes. Okay. So at this point, I'm kind of like at a loss on why you guys would just swirl. There shouldn't be a reason for you to swirl. If you're a black man, you shouldn't be swirling. And spare me the Dr. King shit. Because some of you, when you ask, hey man, why you dating outside your race? You start quoting Dr. King. Talking about you judging the person by the contents of their character. Yes, fuck that. Well, if you wouldn't did that, you wouldn't marry her then. You wouldn't be with her. Because she has terrible character. She doesn't pass Dr. King's standards. But yet you guys, for some reason, seem to be proud of walking around with her, even if she's a big old hippopotamus. No, you go where you feel wanted, which I can't really imagine that be in many places. If those places exist for you at all, Mr. Black Republican, you're probably not even wanted around the people that you're around. You know, Turkey. What are you doing in Turkey? And what is that supposed to mean because you in Turkey? I don't understand that. You're in Turkey. What does that have to do with the black women in the United States? We get back to what I was saying. You guys shouldn't swirl. There's no reason for the black man to be swirling. There's no woman out there that is so different to that she puts the black woman to shame. It's not even close. And check this out. How is it that you don't want your black women, but the white man wants your women? And I don't get it because aren't you guys trying to be like the white man with your conks going into the barbershop, pointing out the Tony Curtis hairstyle? DuckTales and shit. So All that conking back then. All they said about you is that you didn't like yourself. You hated yourself. And you believed what white people told you about yourself. You believed them when they told you that you had bad hair. Because even you adopted the language that they use when describing your hair. You say, I got kinky hair. Let me go get a tone. And you know what? Those chemicals and the thing that you was willing to do and go through to get your hair like that, you were willing to sit there with lie in your head. Do you have any idea? Do you know that lie is corrosive? You put a corrosive chemical in your scalp because you want to be the white man so much that you're willing to damage your natural scalp to look like a white man. Well, Black Republican, I can't see you being any kind of man. Okay, judging from what's come from you, I think that you are delusional. I don't believe that you have anything. I just think that you're a bum in his mother's basement using her computer and you're online trying to talk shit because you don't identify as a male. When you look in the mirror, for some reason you don't see a male. You probably see, when you look in the mirror, you probably see a dominant black woman. And that would make you alpha feminine. Okay, alpha feminine. But anyway, y'all, hey, dang, get the music ready. You got it ready?
Yes, I have it ready.
All right, y'all. We'll be back next week. I'll probably fire up again by Wednesday. Okay? So until then, thanks for showing up, showing out. Dane will be back next week with Ladies' Night if she's gotten over her sickness. If she hasn't, expect the same thing. It'll be a gangster talk, and we can pick up where we left off. But I'm anticipating that Dane will be all right, and she'll have Ladies' Night. Anyway, I'll let you guys later. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. See you in the next broadcast. Peace, power, and unity.